Welcome to a new update today, and it's going to be about altcoins. We are going to grant you with a slight update on two altcoins, and we're going to discuss a few points that you should be understanding when it comes to trading altcoins. As last Friday, I've given you my altcoin trade portfolio, which I'm currently following, which I'm updating on a weekly basis as well. And we're just going to give a few thesis points when it comes to altcoins. But before we continue, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to this YouTube channel, check out our free trade letter, and make sure to check out our premium membership as well, where you can copy trade me and you can copy trade other traders as well and get more trade ideas, be into a lovely community and more. You can find it in the description beneath. Now, when it comes to altcoin trading, it's somehow just the most interesting aspect of crypto, because retail is all so hyped about altcoins. It is a gateway towards becoming a millionaire or to make a ton of money and get that financial freedom, but it's also a gateway to completely wrecked, especially if you are combining altcoins with leverage, which I think you should not be doing it if you are not experienced at all. And then I mean experience knowing that you can lose it all, because after those experiences you can start to learn and educate yourself. You start to develop the mistakes that you have been making, which is usually just with your mental mindset and not essentially the strategy that you're using. Because if you buy something too high, you're just getting yourself or you follow some traders that say, hey, you have to buy it here. You just follow the hype at that point, which is often reflected into other aspects of your life as well. Now, when you look at altcoins, I think that right now we've seen the entire topic of AI, and therefore we have seen a few being running at this point. A few have been doing really well, and yet everyone jumps onto them. But we have just experienced the bear market for some, even almost 2 years. We have been experiencing a bear market for 18 months at least, and still people want to jump into the ones that have been getting into a ton of hype. But at this point, most of those altcoins are going to grant continuation or at least breakout, because all the updates that the real altcoins have been delaying are going to get pushed out right now as the sentiment is changing. Which means that if you jump into AI, you have literally learned nothing. You can still day trade AI, which we will discuss with a specific asset here. But overall, you can just grant yourself with a way larger profit and less risk if you jump into assets that are still accumulating. And we're going to discuss still. First one, I have been discussing it a lot, but it keeps on being a beautiful example, which is Chainlink. Currently, it's still in that sideways range through which you can see that once you buy here, you hold for 8 months and it doesn't move. But once it breaks out, there is a significant potential which can make it towards $25 to $30. Why am I saying that there's such a big potential? Which is that there's a 3 to 4x, which is 300 to 400%, but the downside is approximately 20 to 30% here, because you just get the range low test. Which means that if we get that downside, sad. We just buy a little bit more because we have a proper risk management. If you are watching me, you have a proper risk management, of course. But then you just buy a little bit more, you're down 20%, okay, sad life. But the upside is that if you continue to hold, you can grant yourself with 300%, making it a very justifiable decision to jump into the altcoins at this point. If you're looking into something like Fetch, for instance, we have seen this big run, and if you look at it from a daily perspective, we could be granting ourselves another run towards 72 cents, or we could see our run towards 85 cents, which is 70 to 100%. But we can also just finalize this entire run, just like many of those runs have been doing, and get ourselves back to 20 cents, 30 cents, because we just get a retest there, which is a drop of 50%. If you calculate it in terms of risk reward, you could definitely say, without using the actual numbers, that the reward is relatively limited to the risk, and the risk is significantly higher by jumping onto swing trade position into these altcoins than that you do it with altcoins that are still giving us a structure like we have been seeing here. You can also day trade Fetch, and then you have a different view, because then you're trading on the lower time frames, you're trading on a 4 hour, 1 hour, grant yourself with support, resistance, continuation patterns, etc. But then you hold for a lower time frame, and you hold for a lower time or a shorter time, through which the risk and reward are different, right? Because then you might have an entry at here 40 cents, you hold it until 45, your stop loss is at 38, you can define it by yourself. So in terms of swing trading and jumping onto that, which most of you are doing, it makes no sense in jumping into these assets that have been rallying already. It makes more sense to look and investigate into positions that are just making this sideways picture that Axie Infinity, for instance, is also doing, but Chainlink is doing it, and most of the markets have been doing it. So I would definitely give you this tip, which is avoid everything that you see on social media in terms of hype surrounding AI. You are too late. Make sure that you can investigate charts. And you can do it with DeFi, NFT, those narratives will come back. But if you position yourself into assets that have not been moving yet, but just accumulate like these are doing, you are positioning before the hype, and then you can make the real gains. Make sure to hit the like button, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Ciao.